This is the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller, and this has quickly become my absolute favorite controller. In fact, it's almost impossible for me to go back to using a standard controller after using this one. And the funny thing is, I actually hated this controller when I first got it. Even without the paddles installed, the sides of my fingers would hit the switches underneath, and it was kind of annoying there at the beginning. The D-pad is also slightly larger than a standard controller. It doesn't flare up quite as much as a standard controller, so I was kind of missing things and messing up in game. But after I forced myself to only use this controller for a couple of weeks straight, I can honestly say it is the absolute best controller that I've ever used. The build quality is so much better than that of a standard controller. It feels great in the hand, very comfortable, and the thumbsticks feel so much better than a standard controller. You also have full customization in the Xbox Accessories app, so if you've been thinking about buying one of these, I'd say go ahead and do it. You're going to absolutely love it after the first couple of weeks, and you probably won't be able to go back to using a standard controller after using the Elite. Even the special edition controllers don't feel as good as the Elite does, so if you want to pick one up, I'll be sure to have links in the description below. Alright, so now we're going to unbox the controller, go over the features, and compare it to a standard controller. Take a look at the box. Just hit pause if you want to read this. Let's pop it out of the box. There's the controller. And under here, you have a couple more things. There's your quick start guide.
Clickety clack, the buttons dance in my hands. The perfect trance with the Elite controller. I'm in control of gaming greatness.
And a 9-foot USB-C to USB-A cable. And here on this box is your thumbstick adjustment tool. Now this is kind of easy to overlook, so make sure you grab it. Just pull off a thumbstick, insert the tool, and choose between 3 different tension settings. And you're going to feel a click at each position, so don't force it. So what's the difference between the Elite Series 2 Core, which we have here, and the Elite Series 2? And the answer is nothing. They are the same exact controller, they have all the same features. The only difference is the Elite Series 2 bundle includes all of the accessories like different thumbsticks and paddles. It comes with a case and a charging dock, while the Core, which we have here, only includes the controller, the standard D-pad and thumbsticks, the adjustment tool, and a USB cable. But you can always purchase the official complete component pack later on, or you can just go to Amazon and purchase any color of thumbsticks, paddles, and D-pad that you want. There's also different brands and types of paddles, so you can customize the look and feel of your Elite controller. Plus, the Core controllers come in different colors, so in my opinion, it's often better to just purchase the Core version and then customize the controller with the color and type of accessories that you prefer. Or, if money is no object, you can always go to Xbox Design Lab and create a custom Elite Series 2 controller. Going over the body of this blue controller, the thumbsticks are blue, the D-pad is a blue metal. Of course, you can change out the D-pad and thumbsticks, they just pull off and they are magnetic. And these thumbsticks feel far superior to standard controllers, even on the lowest tension setting. The buttons are clear with faint blue letters. The plastic faceplate has a satin feel to it, similar to the special edition controllers, and it's different from the matte feel of the standard controllers. The Xbox button is a little more pronounced, and it doesn't feel as squishy as the standard controllers. You can also customize the color of the Xbox button light. There's a battery indicator light here. It will show you when it's charging or when the battery's low. You have your standard view and menu buttons on the left and right, but there is no capture button or a take a screenshot button like on the standard controllers. Instead, this is a profile button that you can use to switch profiles on the fly. And by profiles, I mean different setups of maybe what your paddles do and what the buttons do, okay? And you can set up those profiles in the Xbox Accessories app. If you want to take a screenshot, you can always press the Xbox button and press Y to capture a screenshot, or X to record what happened. Or you can program a button or a paddle to capture in the Accessories app. But you can't program the profile button to be a capture button. The handles are fully rubberized and textured across the top, sides, bottom, and inside, and this is way different than the standard controllers with their textured hard plastic handles. And it's even different from the special edition controllers, which only have part of the handle rubberized. The handles feel really good, it offers enhanced grip without being sticky, and it's just comfortable to hold even for long gaming sessions without becoming hot and sweaty. Your hands kind of just sink into that grip, and you become one with the controller. The inside has the same accessory ports as the standard controllers. On the outside is the left and right buttons, and these are totally smooth. There's no texture like you find on the standard controllers, or say like the Starfield controller, which has texture across the entire left and right buttons. The left and right triggers do have texture, but it's slightly different from that of a standard controller. And all of these buttons do feel, a bit higher quality than the standard controllers. And there's the USB-C port and the pair button. The bottom is white, and you'll notice there is no battery cover. And that's because the battery is built in and rechargeable. You can charge it with the USB-C port, either with your Xbox or even a phone charger. The light will blink when it's charging and stay on when it's done. A full charge from 0 takes about 4 hours, and it lasts around 40 hours. So 1 or 2 charges a week should be more than enough for most people. And when you're connected to the Xbox, you'll see a battery level in the upper right-hand corner, and you'll also see a lightning bolt when it's charging. If you happen to have the charging dock, then you can charge it like that as well. And this is the charging dock connector, by the way. The weight of the Elite controller with the built-in battery does feel slightly heavier than a standard controller with 2 AA batteries. And it feels even heavier compared to a standard controller with the rechargeable battery pack. Also on the bottom are the trigger locks or the trigger switches, and these customize the throw or the distance you have to press to activate the triggers. You have 3 positions from normal to hair trigger. The P1 through P4 ports are where you connect your paddles. Now again, the core version doesn't come with paddles, so you're going to have to purchase those separately. And I have a couple different types here. Just like the thumbsticks and D-pad, they are magnetic and they snap right in. So you can use 4 paddles or 2 paddles, 1 paddle, or like me, don't use any paddles 99% of the time. If you start playing a game with the paddles installed and they're getting in your way or you just don't need them, hey, pull them out, no problem. And you can even customize what each paddle does in the accessories app on your Xbox or even PC. One use for the paddles might be programming one to be a jump button in Fortnite, so that way you don't have to take your thumb off the right stick while you're trying to aim and jump at the same time. Or you can program one for crouch or sprint, so you don't have to click down on the thumbsticks. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You can even have totally different settings for your paddles and other buttons saved to different profiles on the controller, and then switch through them on the fly. Have different profiles for different games, or a profile for when you're on foot, and a profile for when you're in a tank, whatever you want. But again, you do not have to use the paddles if you find them uncomfortable, or you just don't need them. The Elite 2 controller is still totally worth it, even if you're not going to use the paddles. All right, let's connect this to our Xbox, and your Xbox should already be on. Turn on the controller, and press and hold the pair button until the light starts blinking. Then press the pair button on the Xbox. And that's it. Now go to Settings, Devices and Connections, Controllers and Headsets, and a welcome screen for your new Elite controller should pop up. Next, read this. Next, more stuff to read. Next. Next, be sure to read about your default profile. Next. Next, and give the controller a name. This can be anything you want, but I'll just go with Elite. Hit Configure, and this is where you can set up your profiles and choose what profiles correspond to the 3 slots. But we just have default profiles for now, so I'll press B to go back, go to the 3 dots, and update the controller. Update now. Make sure you set the controller down flat and don't move it.
My Xbox Elite Series 2 controller in my hand.
All right, we are finished with the update. If you need to know how the controller works, hit the light bulb and it takes you to this page. But we'll go back to configure, and create a new profile. Give it a name, again, can be anything you want. And now we're taken to the mapping page where you can customize everything on this controller. I mean, look at this. We can customize what each button does, assign an action or a key, come down here to set up your paddles. So for example, I could have this paddle do the same thing as the B button. Then we can customize our left and right sticks, change the response curve to fit our play style.
I grip the sticks, I got the power in my hands. Xbox Elite, I'm the king of this game in the land. Precision control, every move gets me close. With this controller, my skills are on.
Customize the response of our triggers. Customize the vibration of the 4 rumble motors, or of course even turn them off. And then you can even customize the color and brightness of the Xbox button for each different profile. Insane amounts of customization, folks. But don't be intimidated by all of the options that you have with the Elite 2 controller. You can actually just leave everything at default and it still performs better than a standard controller. Alright, so I'm good with this. And then I'll assign the profile to one of the 3 slots. If you need to make a change, you can always hit edit and make your change. Of course, set up more profiles in the same way.
This controller's got me feeling like a pro. With the swappable sticks and that D-pad glow. The hair trigger locks, no delayed reaction.
And then you can switch through them on the controller by pressing the profile button. Slot 1, 2, or 3. And 4 with no light showing is default. If you want to go back and create more profiles, you can either go through these settings like we did the first time, or just go directly to the Xbox Accessories app. And of course, just like every other controller, you can set up your Elite controller to sign you in automatically whenever you turn it on. So that is the awesome Xbox Elite Series 2 Core controller. Yes, it's going to feel weird for a couple of weeks. Yes, it takes a long time to get used to using paddles, but hey, you don't have to use paddles. I hardly ever do. But if you do get used to using paddles, it helps to narrow the gap on games that have crossplay with PC players. So games like Fortnite, Battlefield, COD, etc., where the PC players have way more buttons and the accuracy of a mouse versus just a few buttons on the standard controller and the normal thumbsticks. I absolutely guarantee you will become a better player with the Elite 2 controller, even if you don't use the paddles. The higher quality and customizable thumbsticks alone make a huge difference all by themselves. So if you want to pick one up for yourself, I will have links in the description below. Make sure you hit that like button and hit subscribe for more high quality gaming content. Once again, that is the Xbox Elite Series 2 Core wireless controller.
I'll show you what real gaming is. I'll make you pay. Xbox gamers, stand up and unite. We're taking over. Gonna